Hello students. Today we shall study about the winner of a Nobel Prize for his fight against child labor and exploitation, whose mission as a children's right activist began when he himself was a child. I am talking about Kailash Satyarthi, the man on a mission. The aim of this lesson is to highlight how the questions of young age and a strong resolve to bring change helped Kailash to lead a nationwide movement. So, let's read about this great man, Kailash Satyarthi, the man on a mission. Kailash Satyarthi was born on 11 January 1954 in a small town in Madhya Pradesh. He was brought in a normal way, not in an extraordinary way, but he was different from others in different way, as he was compassionate to the needs of those around him and felt disturbed that children of society were not all being treated equally. He himself said in an interview that he never forgot when he was 5 an incident from his childhood when he was 5 seeing a boy of his age on the steps outside the school cleaning shoes. There he could not understand why some children were different from him. On the first day of his school, when he saw the cobbler's son and his pathetic condition, he became restless and disturbed. He was all excited to attend his first day, the school with lot of dreams as a student. He felt that the cobbler's son had no dreams in his eyes and he too would be a cobbler like his father and grandfather. So he was very curious to know about the boy and his condition outside the school. He put some questions related to it to his teacher, but Kailash did not get the answer from him as he thought Kailash should not think of what was happening outside the classroom and get distracted or disturbed. Then, the very same day, he happened to meet the principal or the headmaster who were known to their family also, and he asked about that boy and his condition. Why that boy was different from him? That was his question. But he didn't get a satisfactory answer, as the headmaster said it was normal and common for the poor children to work in order to live, as they can't afford the other expenses like education, celebration, or anything like that. One day, he gathered the courage to ask the boy's father, the cobbler, why he didn't send him to school, his son. So the answer left an indelible mark on Satyarthi. Cobbler said, "You are born to go to school, and we are means his father, he himself, and his son were born to work without any improvement in their situation." Now it was like a shock for him, as he was born into a high caste family. He felt like crying after hearing the cobbler's answer because he didn't know anything about the caste system or the rich poor differences. But he started looking at the world with different eyes and he began questioning because it wasn't right according to him. One more incident there, another incident which shocked him and moved him to the core was a rainy day, when he saw the same cobbler beating his son and the child crying very badly. When asked, the cobbler said that when he had gone for lunch and asked his son to cover the shoes with a plastic sheet if it rained, the boy, instead of covering the shoes, covered himself, protected himself from getting wet. And as the cobbler was unstable to his customers about the expensive or you can say the costly shoes, so he was worried as now and was not ready to face the consequences. So he was worried. Kailash was again in a shocking state as he had double protection. He had an umbrella as well as a raincoat, and here he showed his selfless nature. He gave away his umbrella to the boy. Here, Kailash Satyarthi felt that the basic right of leading a good life was being denied to the cobbler's son. All these incidents show that Kailash was a kind-hearted, thoughtful, a loving person, compassionate to the needs of others. In his speech, Kailash says he is representing the sound of silence, the sound of small children. Then, Kailash placed an empty chair on the stage and He also represents millions of those children who are left behind. That's why he kept an empty chair there as a reminder. At one place, he said that his only aim in life is that every child should be free to be a child. That is, free to grow and develop, free to eat, sleep, and see daylight, free to laugh and cry, free to play and learn, free to go to school, and above all, free to dream. He also agreed with Gandhiji. Like Gandhiji said that the best way to ensure a peaceful world was to begin by teaching the children. So he was in favor of Gandhiji's thoughts and ideas. Finally, he says that he is happy. He is happy with the today in which we live. This is because the rights of children are now being recognized much more than they were years ago. He says today it is time for children to have a right to freedom, life, health, education, safety, dignity, equality, and peace. Today children are smiling, dancing, and playing and growing up with dignity. As an admirer of Mahatma Gandhi, Satyarthi gave up his career as an electrical engineer and his high caste name Sharma in the 1980s, swapping it for Satyarthi, which means seeker of truth. He also started working full-time for his cause. Later on, he founded organization to defend children's rights, Bachpan Bachao Andolan or Save Childhood Movement, which campaigned to end bonded labor, child exploitation, etc. So far, he has freed over 83,000 children from slavery and child labor from 144 countries. His ideals are reflected even in his name. Even as a child, his ideals were guiding him in the direction of equality and social justice. According to Kailash, child labor is a social evil, so we have to fight in order to change the mindset of the people. So, it was all about the Nobel laureate Kailash Satyarthi, the man on a mission.